Hey everyone, it's Fitz with the Walk and Talk. I found a little shelter here underneath the West Stadium Center as it's pretty breezy out today. Interesting press conference, and the fact that it was really laid back. From Chris Kleiman to the players, I feel like this team's confidence is growing. They know they have actually fewer questions to answer, but it's really an entertaining matchup with Oklahoma State. Two teams that have really struggled to throw the ball with any consistency in recent games. And now we'll go into this game probably looking to run it still. But Kleiman said they've got to be more diverse, not just to improve their chances of winning certain games. And they've done what they've had to do to win. It's been more about that than a lack of commitment to the throwing game. It's just they knew they needed to line up and run the ball the last couple of weeks, and they've been able to do it. Coming off of that 38-17 victory, I got the score right. I think this team has just really blossomed with confidence heading to Oklahoma State, and they know what a challenge that game will be. It's always tough playing down there. They all mention the crowd noise, how close they are to the benches, the paddles, all those things that I think we all love about the college football environment down in Stillwater. It's a great place to play a game and to cover a game. In my situation, fans are great. It's a fun rivalry, but one that Chris Kleiman's lost the first two seasons that he's been at Kansas State. Really got manhandled in 2019, a game that he said is kind of similar to this. Coming off a good start in the non-conference and go down there and get handed a whole bunch of humble. Last year they were more competitive, but Oklahoma State was the better team. This is a series that I really believe Kleiman's got to get on top of. This Oklahoma State, this Baylor and West Virginia, are the three series that he's had problems with. Texas also, but I don't want to talk about them. That I feel like they should be more competitive in. Certainly Baylor, certainly West Virginia. Oklahoma State's been the best of those three teams, but I don't feel like the mismatch was as big as it showed up in 2019. So I feel like this game has some real meaning to Chris Kleiman and his players. Like, they get it. They get that to do the things they want to do this season, they have to go on the road and win. And boy, you go on the road and win. When you got 5 out of your 9 games in the conference at home and you can win that first game, you can go out there and handle, the lighting's so much better, and handle an Oklahoma State team with ease, or just get in there and get the win. I think you start to see the season open up, even though you'd have Oklahoma the next week. Bye week, Iowa State, back-to-back really good teams coming into Bill Snyder Family Stadium. This can set a tone for the rest of the year. Because you stop and think about it, then you go to Kansas, and your only other road trips are Texas and Texas Tech. So you're really, in some ways, on the travel downside of your schedule, even just 4 games into the season. It's kind of remarkable when you stop and think of it from that standpoint. The significance of this game, of being able to get them to 4 wins before you run into the top 2 teams in the preseason poll in Oklahoma and Iowa State. If they are, I don't know at this point. I'm not overwhelmed by anyone in this conference, and that includes Kansas State. I saw that a voter didn't have them ranked. There's some weirdness about his ballot. I interacted with him a little bit. But like I said to the guy, I don't know if K-State should be ranked. I'm not into that. That's not what I do. I cover K-State, and not in a comparative way. I cover K-State and the teams they play, and I know just enough to talk about everyone else. I couldn't do rankings. But I'm not sure K-State belongs in the top 25. 25 is probably an appropriate place if they are, barely in there. I hope it doesn't play a psychological effect in this game. I hope K-State doesn't come out and kind of follow themselves, and I don't see that happening. We talked with Noah Johnson quite a bit. The revenge tour, as he's come to call it. It's pretty entertaining. There's no mirrors on this bus. You can't look backwards. So this is a big one. If you really are on a revenge tour, this is a sizable game against a program with which you should be comparable. A program with which, in the early phases of the new Big 12, you can be the 2 big programs of the leftovers. You're adding really good programs, don't get me wrong. Cincinnati, Central Florida, BYU will all have a sizable impact on this league, but the league is very attainable in the near future. And in some ways, the new Big 12, for me, starts Saturday in Stillwater against a really, really good Oklahoma State team that doesn't quite have itself defined right now. Maybe you should be happy you catch them early. Catch them before they've developed their passing game. Catch them while they're still looking for a consistent running game, even though they've been pretty good. They've been held in the 20s every game so far this season, and in the first couple games by okay opponents. Yeah, this is a winnable game. Now you just need to go win it.